Have you ever felt lonely even when surrounded by people? Have you had the feeling that no one understands what's going on inside you? As if your thoughts were too deep, your feelings too intense, your perception too sharp for the outside world? As if you were seeing the gears behind the facade, hearing what no one says, feeling what no one admits? If so, this video is for you, because there is a silent pain that few women can name, the loneliness of those who think too much, of those who feel too much, of those who can no longer live on autopilot. It is the price of consciousness. Mary Esther Harding, a direct disciple of Carl Jung and one of the great pioneers of female psychology, understood this before many others. She knew that when a woman begins to awaken, when she starts to look inward with courage, question what was imposed on her, connect with her soul, she inevitably distances herself from the world as it is. And this distancing, though necessary, is painful. The woman who awakens becomes strange in the eyes of society. She begins to refuse roles she once silently accepted. She starts saying no where she used to stay silent. She begins to desire a kind of life that seems incomprehensible to those still anesthetized. She feels the exhaustion of being sensitive in a world that applauds insensitivity. She feels the weight of seeing what others prefer to ignore. She feels the discomfort of always being between two worlds, the outside world, where everything seems shallow and rushed, and the inner world, where everything cries out for meaning. This woman might even be called exaggerated, complicated, too intense. But deep down she is simply profoundly alive. And here is where loneliness comes in. Not because she is wrong, but because she is lucid. Not because she lacks love, but because truth is missing in connections. Not because she is difficult, but because it is hard to find someone who can hold her depth. Mary Esther Harding said that a woman only begins to heal when she dives into the unconscious, when she comes into contact with her essential feminine, not related to gender stereotypes, but to the soul. And this dive is almost always lonely. Because it challenges everything we were taught about how we should live, feel, love, and behave. Thinking too much, at its core, is feeling beyond what is allowed. And feeling too much in this world is dangerous. Because true sensitivity exposes the wounds of the collective, and the system doesn't want deep healing. It wants repetition. It wants women to be strong, functional, beautiful, balanced, but never awake. In this video, I want to take you on this journey. I want to show you that the loneliness you feel may be a call of the soul, not a mistake. I want to remind you that there is nothing wrong with you for not fitting into the superficial, that this anguish that accompanies you is sacred, a sign that something inside you refuses to live shallowly. Feminine consciousness, the one Harding studied and valued so much, is not light. It is intense, inconvenient, transformative. It forces us to see what we didn't want to see. It tears us out of illusion. It breaks shells so that we can finally be born for real. But this consciousness also heals. When you go through this phase of disconnection from the world, you begin to reconnect with yourself. When you stop asking, "What is wrong with me?" and start asking, "What is wrong with the world that does not welcome my depth?" you change everything. Harding said that a woman's healing begins when she stops running away from herself, when she allows herself to feel without censorship, think without guilt, choose without asking permission, and even if this leaves you alone for a while, this loneliness is not the end. It is the womb of your transformation. It is where you find your most authentic strength. It is where you begin to hear a voice the world tried to silence. Yours. Today, more than ever, we need to talk about this. About the weight of being conscious in a distracted world. About the loneliness of those who can no longer pretend everything is okay. About the courage to live with soul in a time when everything seems plastic. So breathe. Allow yourself. Stay here with me until the end of this video, because maybe the pain you feel today is actually the beginning of your reunion, not with the world, but with your own essence. Harding opened this path for us. She taught us that Feminine consciousness is not a burden. It is a revolutionary force. And no matter how lonely this path seems at first, it leads you back home. If this message touched you, share it with someone who also feels too much, but never had the words for it. And subscribe here, because this channel is for those who have already understood that thinking too much is just the beginning of healing.